What happened to Natalee Holloway? I'm very sure you don't know. In May 2005, 18-year-old Natalee Holloway vanished while on her high school graduation trip to Aruba. What began as a fun vacation with friends turned into one of the most heartbreaking and widely followed true crime mysteries in America. Natalee was last seen leaving a nightclub with Joran Sloot and two brothers. The next morning, she never showed up for her flight home. Her disappearance sparked international searches, countless theories, and years of unanswered questions. In this episode of The Crime Vault, we revisit Natalee's story, the investigation, the suspects, and the shocking confession that came years later. More importantly, we share the powerful lesson her case leaves behind about caution, family strength, and valuing life. Backhand subscribe to The Crime Vault for more true crime stories, unsolved mysteries, and real-life cases. In May of 2005, a group of excited high school seniors from Mountain Brook, Alabama, flew to Aruba for their graduation trip. Among them was Natalee Holloway, an 18-year-old honors student, full of life and ready to start her future at college. What was supposed to be a fun, carefree vacation turned into one of the most heartbreaking and mysterious true crime stories. On the last night of the trip, Natalee and her friends went out to a popular nightclub called Carlos and Charlie's. It was a place where American tourists, especially young people, often gathered. Around closing time, witnesses saw Natalee leaving the club with three young men: Joran Sloot, a 17-year-old Dutch student living in Aruba, and two brothers, Deepak and Satish Kalpo. The next morning, Natalee never showed up at the airport for the group's flight back to Alabama. Her luggage, passport, and belongings were all left in her hotel room. Parents were immediately alarmed. They flew to Aruba the very next day, desperate to find her. Soon, the island became the center of international media attention. Search teams scoured beaches, waters, and neighborhoods. Locals joined the effort, but Natalee was nowhere to be found. At first, suspicion fell on Joran Sloot and the Kalpo brothers, since they were the last known people to see Natalee alive. The young men gave different stories. At one point, they claimed they dropped her off at her hotel. Later, their stories changed. Joran admitted he was with Natalee on the beach but said he left her there alone. His shifting accounts made investigators suspicious, but evidence was thin. Without a body, it was hard to prove what happened. Natalee's family, the pain was unbearable. Her mother, Bate Holloway, became a relentless advocate, appearing on television, pressuring authorities, and pleading with the public for help. The case dragged on for months, then years, with arrests and releases, rumors, and false leads. At one point, Joran even tried to extort money from Bate, promising to reveal where Natalee's body was for $250,000. He later admitted he lied. It was cruel, and it deepened the family's grief. A long time, Natalee's disappearance remained a mystery with no resolution. But in 2010, another crime shed light on Joran's violent behavior. On May 30, 2010, exactly 5 years to the day after Natalee vanished, Joran murdered a young woman named Stephanie Flores in Peru. He confessed and was sentenced to prison there. That case convinced many people that he was also responsible for Natalee's fate, though he has never been officially convicted in her disappearance. Finally, in 2023, Joran admitted in court documents that he killed Natalee after she refused his advances that night in Aruba. After nearly 2 decades, her family finally had an answer, even though her body has never been found. Natalee Holloway's story is more than a mystery. It's a tragedy that reminds us of some powerful truths. First, it shows how quickly life can change. One moment of trust, one wrong decision, can alter everything. For young people especially, it's a reminder to be cautious when traveling, especially in unfamiliar places. Second, it shows the strength of family. Bate Holloway never gave up on her daughter, no matter how painful or how many years passed. Her persistence finally brought answers, even if it could never bring Natalee home. And finally, it's a reminder for all of us. Value the people you love while you have them. Life is fragile, and the choices we make can have lasting consequences. Natalee Holloway should have come home from that graduation trip with happy memories and big plans for the future. Instead, her story became a warning and a lesson. Case reminds us that evil can hide behind a smile, and that awareness and caution can sometimes be the difference between safety and tragedy. May we honor Natalee's memory not only by remembering her, but also by learning the lesson her story leaves behind. Cherish your loved ones, trust your instincts, and never take safety for granted. And that is why the disappearance of Natalee Holloway remains one of the most unforgettable stories inside the crime vault. This is how we talk about true crime story every day, so subscribe to my YouTube channel and comment your opinion on this story.